In this video, I'm going to show you how I made my client $177,000 in 30 days and $141,000 in just 4 days before the month ends. And in this video, I'm going to show you how we position the offer uniquely, create a category of one offer, how we got the traffic and got qualified leads, what we did in the pre-launch, what we did with our funnels and sales processes so that we can convert those leads, and how we fulfilled and did delivery so that we can scale better. And I'm gonna break everything down for you step by step. But first, we have to understand the fundamentals of every business. So with every business, we have to attract, we have to convert, and we have to deliver. We attract qualified leads predictably and consistently so that we can convert them into actual paying clients so that we can deliver. And that's what every consulting business, coaching business, or every business in general has. They have client acquisition, they have a sales process, and then they have delivery and fulfillment. So this is the exact process I use with every single client that I have to get them from where they are at that point of time to where they want to be, scaling past 100K per month, 50K, 200K, or whatnot. And the first thing we have to do is to position our offer and understand who our ICP is. Then we focus on building an offer people feel stupid saying no. Then we focus on your brand and traffic. After that, we focus on the sales and conversion mechanisms. After that, we will focus on delivery and fulfillment, and everything else falls under scale. So once we dial all of this in, we will actually be able to scale even further, and that's what I help all my clients with. So the first thing you have to do with every single consulting offer is to actually do market research. And the reason why I say that is because it's the foundation of every single offer that you build. It includes all your sales assets, your content, your VSLs, and everything falls under market research. Because if we don't create an offer that the market wants or what people want, we can't sell. And if we don't understand who we are targeting in our content, our ICP, that means ideal customer profile, we just can't make content that targets them or speaks to them or resonates with them. And even relate to them. So first, we have to understand our customer better than they understand themselves. And that's the key thing that we have to solve first, because it's a domino that like knocks down every single other domino, right? It's a domino effect. So most people make the mistake that they have to look at competitors, they copy their competitors' funnels or content, they launch it, praying if it works, and they eventually make little to no money. Or they just come up with an idea that looks cool or they like, it's a passion project, and they assemble a new offer with a very, very low price, like one-to-one consultations at $200 per hour, and they launch it praying if it works. But they also make little to no money. And most people build offers based on assumptions, not data, right? Because if we build offers based off data, based on what people actually tell us that they want, we just have to get them to tell us what they want and we sell them what they really want, right? We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to come up with something new. Just get people to tell us what they want. So I have the call with the offer owner. He just tells me the story, his experiences, his pinpoints that he did with his own business model, and the desires that he has. And we also did a wait list that we asked like a few questions to actually get people into the early access waitlist for the actual launch. And we asked these questions. So we asked what you want to learn or become. This is a desired outcome question. So we asked them what's their goals. We asked them what's their biggest struggle and challenge with their niche. So we asked, it's a fear and struggle question, like what are they struggling with, what's holding them back. We asked them the one big question or concern they have about the niche. So we asked them their objections. This is the quick key question because it asks about objections. So we asked how long have they been working or doing this for. So it's like an experience question. And lastly, we ask what's their current monthly income, so we can gauge what's their financial situation, and we ask them for the phone and email and name, right? So that we can dial them and we can email them. And I'm going to walk you through the sales process that we did in the later part of the video. So yeah. So if you have a small audience with like less than $5,000, like you can use Perplexity. It's a very good AI for research and understanding who like your target market is, and like you can actually pull Reddit quotes and whatnot. But if you really want to understand your ideal customer and your buyer profile, like DM me on Instagram. The link is in the description, and I'll send you a ChatGPT bot that you can fill in your target market. I can't speak. You can put in your target market and your outcome or the solution that you provide, and it pulls out a good, really good like buyer's profile, so that you can actually use it for your messaging, for your positioning, so that you can understand who your target customer is. So the second thing we have to do is to make an offer that people feel stupid saying no. And an offer is basically how your service or product is framed or positioned. And we have to make an offer so good that it feels like a steal. Like people feel like, if I don't get this now, it's like I'm not gonna get it for this price or like this value ever again, right? So with every offer, there's a gap, right? There's a current situation that someone is dealing with, they have pain, they have problems, and they want to get to somewhere where they can have financial freedom, travel wherever they want, or they want to lose weight, or they want to feel good, confidence, they want to get a girlfriend or whatnot, right? So there's always a gap from where they are right now to where they want to be, and your offer is basically the vehicle that closes the gap and helps someone go from where they are right now to where they want to be. That's an offer, and your offer is positioned as the gap to close it. All right, so people pay you money in exchange for the amount of value that you're providing. And the last thing we want to do is to make an offer a commodity offer where we compete on price, because everyone is shouting their own offers. Everyone is making offers that are the same. It's a commodity. Like they're just shouting bold promises, bold crazy guarantees and whatnot. So we don't want to do that. We want to create a category of one offer where your offer stands out and differentiates yourself from everyone else, right? So I'm going to walk you through step by step right now to build an offer that's unique to your situation and what the target market wants. So the first step is your ICP. You have to target a person that has a painful problem and is willing to invest in high ticket. So high ticket meaning like $3,000 and above. So $5,000, $10,000, $7,000. And you can't target broke, like for example, a bad ICP is basically broke students, like people below the age of 18. They just don't have the money, and if you target them in your audience, in your messaging and your content, you're just not gonna make as much money as you want to. The second thing is define your dream outcome. So you can use this statement to create your dream outcome. I help you achieve dream outcome in time frame. So you can say, I help you achieve $50,000 per month in 6 months, or I help you achieve I help you lose 20 kg of weight in 6 weeks or something like that, you know? So that's what we did to actually define their dream outcome. After that, we did the value equation, right? So if you don't know what the value equation is, it's Alex Hormozi's equation for providing value or creating value. And there's the dream outcome, that's the perceived likelihood of achievement, that's the time delay, and there's effort and sacrifice. And you want to increase the dream outcome, and you want to increase the certainty and reduce risk, while like reducing the time that they have to get to where they want to go with your product, and the effort they have to make when they buy your product, when the effort they have to put in, right? So if you reduce the time frame and effort and sacrifice, and you also reduce the risk, this is basically risk and certainty. If you reduce the risk, you're basically going to create value. These are the 3 vectors of creating value. So that's what we did. To stand out and not be a commodity, your offer has to win on at least one of these 3. So you risk, speed, and ease. So you have to reduce doubts and uncertainty in your offer. So you have to deliver results. Like, ask yourself, how can you deliver results in like 1/3 of the time? And how can you make the experience and the process as seamless and prepared as possible, or as seamless as and effortless as possible? So that's how you create an offer. And the fourth thing you have to do is to list down every single problem, obstacle, or limiting belief that your ideal customer might have and turn them into solutions. And that's what I did with the ChatGPT prompt, or the ChatGPT I told you about. I went through that and like looked at all the buyers' profiles and like looked at all the problems, their obstacles and limiting beliefs. And I just turned all of them into problems, and I used that as deliverables to help our prospect get results. So with lesser time, with lesser effort. So the fifth thing is to stack value, and you have to turn all objections into a bonus, a guarantee, or a system that removes effort and increases speed and certainty of seeing success. So like templates, swipe files, SOPs, scripts, AI tools or automations, or one-to-one calls for personalization and onboarding calls, right? So, it's supposed to be step 6, but make it exclusive. Make it like super exclusive by adding scarcity and urgency. So scarcity is based off units, and urgency is based off time. So you can do limited spots, and you can do closing enrollment on X date. So we did limited spots. And this is the actual offer that we use to actually help people get results. And the third thing you have to focus on is traffic, because if you don't have leads, you can't sell, right? So you have to focus a lot on traffic and getting predictable and consistent leads every single day. So the goal is to actually get as much traffic as possible. And not only that, get them to trust you, know you, and like you. So you do this by using the 7-11 for rule by Google. And this actually describes the journey from a consumer to convert them from a stranger to a buyer. And it requires you to make at least 7 hours of content. You have to get them to consume 7 hours of your content across 11 touch points on 4 different locations. But you don't really necessarily have to do 7-11 for. You can just do like 5 hours, 3 hours, or whatnot. And some people buy from 2 hours of content, or some people buy from 5 hours of content. But the best thing you can do right now is to use YouTube. And I'm going to explain more in detail, but which person is more likely to buy? Like, if someone consumes your content one time, and one piece of content, maybe it's 60 seconds of your content, or prospect B, like he consumes a lot of your educational content, and he watches your YouTube, watches 7 hours of your content, really likes you, really understands who you are, their prospect B is more likely to buy. So that's what you want to do with your content, is basically the more someone consumes your content, the more they will know, like, and trust us. So that's what we want to do with our content. We want to make more content through YouTube and Instagram to get us to get people to know, like, and trust us. So with your traffic sources, the best thing you can do is to bring top of funnel or brand awareness into like your ecosystem through Instagram and TikTok. That's the best thing you can do. And the way you use YouTube is by nurturing. So you don't use YouTube as your brand awareness or getting a bunch of leads. You use YouTube as your nurturing assets, using sales assets to actually change their beliefs, handles objections, helps them understand what you do and how you can help them achieve their dream outcome, right? So because you basically can't turn a stranger into a buyer through 60 seconds of your content, that's not really possible. Right now, every market is sophisticated. You have to definitely make more content and make longer form or pieces of content so that you can actually nurture those people and get them to trust you. So that's the infinity stones of influence. There's reciprocity, social proof, scarcity, liking, authority, and commitment. And you basically want to use all 6 within like your content pieces and your front-end marketing, because the number one thing you can do is to provide reciprocity, is to provide free value, right? Because if you provide free value that's so good and you're telling everyone your secrets, you're just basically giving the entire blueprint so that they can do it themselves. And they will feel indebted to you. They will feel indebted to whatever value that you provided. Let's say I gave you $10 right now, and I didn't ask you for anything in return. I told you like not to give me back the $10. Like you will feel like you're indebted to me now and you're trying to help me in some sort of other way when I helped you, right? The second thing is social proof. Social proof is the best. You probably know that social proof is the best thing, but you have to like share your client wins, share your wins, share testimonials and student wins. All right. The third thing is scarcity, like what we talked earlier, limited spots, limited units of reducing like the number of spots basically, or tickets or whatnot. The fourth thing is very important because it's liking. You have to get someone to like you first, because if they don't like you, like they're not gonna buy from you, right? Like think about every single person that you like. You feel like you're connected to them. You feel like you trust them more. You feel like you actually know the person more, right? So you have to use liking in your content, and it's very, very important. The fifth thing is authority. They have to see you as an authority before they even buy, because they need to understand how you help them, and they have to know that you are the best person to help them solve their problems. And commitment. Like commitment and consistency is the same thing. So like they feel like they have to commit to something. And you have to be consistent with your messaging, your positioning, and whatnot. So give away all the free value on YouTube, make them like you, because you have to be relatable. Show social proof everywhere on IG stories, highlights, YouTube, or on your VSLs or your landing pages. And the offer owner had a Porsche, so he just made a lot of money, and people saw him as an authority straight away. And we did a launch with limited spots to join. So that's everything that we did, from giving value away to showing people that we are relatable. We are just like them. We show them social proof everywhere. We just showed that we have a Porsche. We made a lot of money, and we did a launch with limited spots. And this is the secret that a lot of people don't understand, is that content is actually predictable. So you just have to look at the data. If you're making too much top of funnel content and your sales process gets a ton of unqualified leads, you just have to make a lot of middle funnel content. And you just have to make more educational videos, push them more to YouTube, and turn them into actual buyers. So if people don't know you enough, then you just have to make more viral content, and you have to make more top of funnel content. But if you want more sales, you just have to make people act now, and you have to give them a reason to do so. So all you have to do is to show more proof and testimonials. And that's how you actually look at your data, look at your content, and understand what types of content you have to make based on the data that you have. So the fourth thing that we did is the pre-launch. So we wanted to collect some more money before we even launched the entire thing, so that we can actually test for demand, get a feedback, and iterate the marketing and messaging to our market's needs. So we did the pre-launch through the Discord community and by having the phone numbers of the waitlist responses. So we just sent people to the Typeform through the Discord community, and we just send them a pre-sale VSL. And in the pre-sale VSL, it's extremely raw. It's direct to offer. There's no editing or whatnot. It's extremely raw to the camera. And I just got my creators to talk about the story and their unique mechanism. And we just send it through the SMS and emails especially. So we send this exact text to the email list, and we got them the CTA, and the setters SMSs those leads, and they will just dial them after. So after they dial them, and if they are qualified, they book a call through with the closer, and we just got them on a closing call and we just closed, and we only like limited this pre-launch to 20 spots. So the next thing that we optimize is the funnels and sales, and this is the exact funnel that we use for the actual launch. So we pushed all the traffic from Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into the VSL, and through the VSL we have an application form, and if they are not financially qualified, we just send them to a downsell community offer. And if they are qualified, then we get them to book a call. And after booking a call, there's an actual thank you page or confirmation page that has the thank you video that confirms the call on Gmail. And they have to watch pre-call assets, pre-call material that handles objections, pre-handles objections. There's a FAQ, and it hypes up the opportunity that they're getting into. So in terms of the backend systems, we just have a Slack channel that notifies the seller. We get the seller to create a WhatsApp group with the closer, and the closer will actually do an intro video. And this is very key because this allows the prospect and the closer to connect before the call. And this will make the closer seem like he's relatable, who they are going to talk to. And the prospect will lower their guard, and this will actually get the prospect to show up more because they're going to commit to the call. So on the morning of the call, the seller reconfirms the call, and during 15 minutes of the call, the closer actually confirms the call. And we have like a ton of emails and texts. We only have like 3 or 4 emails that we handle objections, we show social proof, and we talk about the offer owner's origin story. So this is the backend that we did. And once the call starts, we just get the closers to close the call and we collect money. So that's the entire backend that we did to get them from a stranger to an actual buyer. So the next thing that we did after closing all the deals is to focus on delivery and fulfillment. And we did one-to-one calls, we did onboarding calls and stuff like that. And I'm going to walk you through the onboarding process. So after we close the deal, we just send them to a Warp payment link, and we use Warp as our payment processor. And we also use Discord as our community because he already had a community on Discord, so we use that instead. And through our onboarding form, it's very important that you have an onboarding form because you have to understand where your leads are coming from, why they decide to work with you, and what made them buy, basically. And these are all the questions that we asked to actually get them to fill out so that we understand where they are right now, what they need help with, and why they decided to work with us. So it's name, Discord, where did they first find us, what did they decide to do this, what made them want to work with the offer owner, what finally pushed them to book a call, what were the biggest hesitations before joining the community, where they wanted their journey to look like in 3 to 6 months, and what's stopping them from actually getting to where they want to be in 3 to 6 months. So the extra data always feeds back into marketing. So all of this data right here feeds back into the marketing, the content, and everything like that. All right. So that's the power play that you have to do, is to get as much data as possible, get as much evidence as possible. And that's what we did. And that's how we fed it back into the marketing so that we can actually scale. And this is the last thing that we did. We are going to hit more than 100K per month. So with scale, it's actually just doing more or doing better content or better marketing or better sales. So the first thing we're going to optimize is the funnel and conversion mechanism. We have like a KPI tracker that we use to track all the metrics and the call booked, the calls closed. We talk to the team, we talk to the sales team and ask them what they can improve. We review all of the calls on the sales team, and we use that so that we can actually scale. And the second thing we're going to optimize is more and better content. So we're going to optimize more Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube content. So we're going to use more YouTube right now to actually do more education and actually nurture all of the prospects so that we can actually convert all of their leads and strangers and views into actual paying clients. And that's the entire process that we used to scale my offer owner. And he resulted in doing $250,000 in revenue for that month. So if you need help scaling your info product and your coach, your consultant, and you have an info product business, just let me know in the description. You can click on the link below, or you can DM me on Instagram and I'll help you out. So I'll see you in the next video. Peace.